Attention please. This uploading is only for educational purpose. No intention to infringe copyrights. Learning English with subtitles GPITRAL. Follow us.
Out at the Hare Krishna property, and the farm manager shows Karen around some of the other older cows and bulls living out their retirement in her loving care.
Wow. That is massive. If you could only feel my heart right now. No.
He'd be about 19 hands.
While most cows only get about 4 years of life before being slaughtered and then called beef, these 10-year-old beasts have grown to an impressive size and also have their healthcare problems seen to.
Yeah, they do grow big, but this is their natural height. This is their natural body. Now, this cow over here, Rukmini, you can see she's an older cow. She's a little bit timid. She's an older cow. She's got greying around her head. Now, about 3 weeks ago, she had a very rare operation that actually just doesn't get performed. She had cancer of the udder, and so we decided to attempt a partial mastectomy. Any other farmer would just send them off to the works. We've given her the lease of life for another probably 3 or 4 years. Every cow, every animal on the farm has a name and has a personality. He's actually a great big sweetie. Now, if I keep doing this, you can probably give him a plate.
Oh, there you go. Oh yeah, look at his lips.
Yeah, he's just a little bit to the right.
Yeah.
As far as Karen's concerned, there's no problem in this paddock. You couldn't hope for a better place to be a cow.
Oh, I'm absolutely rapt to be here. The complaint came through that that there was a skinny cow here. Seen that, and she's absolutely beautiful, and she's under vet care, so I'm absolutely happy with her. And it's just been wonderful to come and see the size of these bulls and the length of the horns. Absolutely beautiful. We're very happy.
The gannet attacked by a dog has been brought to the vet after its wing failed to heal naturally. John's brought it to vet Berend Westra, who has a passion for wild seabirds. He provides his time, expertise and clinic for free to the birdwing rescue cause.
I'm just feeling the radius and the ulna there to shore up.
Gannets have sharp serrated beaks and can quickly draw blood when they see the opportunity arise. Careful handling is always required.
Just clean up all that cheesy SPCA material. Would probably be good to put a few stitches in that. We're just anaesthetising him so that we can actually work on him more easily and suture up the laceration on the wing. It's quite deep and it's right down to the bone, and I think if we can suture it across, it'll heal much more quickly than just treating it superficially the way it has been. We're just cleaning up the wound so we can suture it across and hopefully it'll heal well. Birds are pretty robust actually, so that they heal very, very easily.
The bird is certainly fortunate to be in Berend's very competent hands.
As with all wild animals, their territory is becoming smaller and smaller, and the amount of healthy fish is becoming less and less. The eyes are already starting to come around. You can see the iris changing shape and size. It means it's becoming more conscious. We wrap them in a towel while they're waking up because they tend to flap around a little bit. By the time they're awake enough to pull themselves out of the towel, they're awake enough to be conscious and normal and not sort of throw themselves around.
Berend packs his patient into the box to be transported back to Pam's place and more unhurried convalescence. Back at the SPCA hospital, the beaten puppy's x-rays have revealed a major fracture that threatens its future.
So it's just as I suspected. That's the right side. So this is the left femur or the thigh bone. It's fairly obvious that this part here is separated from the rest of the femur, so the fracture's just through there. The only time I've ever seen them before is actually with road accidents. So it's taken a fair, something's hit it fairly hard to do that.
The injury occurred because the dog allegedly had a table thrown at her. Specialist surgery is now required for the dog, and she's taken to Franklin's Vets, where a complicated and lengthy procedure will be attempted to repair her fractured hip. Since her time at the SPCA, she's picked up a new name, Evie or Evie, in reference to her becoming evidence in the court case against her offender.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, does Puppy actually have another name other than Puppy?
Evie.
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 Oh, sweetie.
She's so active, you wouldn't even know
No.
that she had something wrong with you.
Yep, that's a bit crunchy in there. Feels a bit nasty.
Evie's original owners have signed her over to the SPCA, which has been fundraising to earn funds for her expensive surgery.
If we repair her hip but it fails to heal because of damage to the blood supply, there's a small chance she might even need a second surgery later. So I think the SPCA is trying to ensure that they raise sufficient funds to cover all eventualities, which is great, because she deserves a shot.
The SPCA hand over to the specialists, but due to the time delay involved, it's feared complications may have set in. Evie has been in surgery for 3 hours already, but the vet is still not sure if they have got to the injury in time.
What's happened with this puppy is that the neck of femur is completely broken. Unfortunately, it's been done for, I think, around 10 days now, and ideally we like to treat this fracture within 2 to 3 days of the injury. The problem with that is that often the blood vessels that supply the head of the femur are damaged, and sometimes the results of surgery aren't good this far down the track. If it all goes well, we'd hope that she can have a normal functioning hip, but if our post-op x-rays don't look good or if it doesn't heal well, we do have the option of removing her head of femur later on, and she would probably function okay with a bit of a limp in that case.
It will be several weeks before results of surgery will show if the operation has been successful.
How's it going, Bert?
Good. Thank you, John. How are you?
You good?
Across town at another vet clinic, the future for the injured gannet is looking bright.
About 3 weeks to go.
2 weeks after its wing was stitched, John has brought the bird back in for a checkup. The gannet has been in captivity for a month now, twice as long as they had hoped for, but it's definitely on the mend.
Put it back in. All right. Okay, well, that looks really good, actually. Looks like it's healed really well.
Once Berend has removed the stitches, he's confident the bird will be strong enough to return to its colony and hopefully fly.
That wound looks really good, so... Okay, it looks great. So I think he should be able to be released, really.
Yeah, we've got a good easterly today, so hopefully we'll be able to take him up.
Gannets need the wind to help them take off, so this could be an ideal day. Hopefully also the bird's last trip in a box. John returns the bird to its former home on Gannet Rock near Murawai, one of New Zealand's biggest gannet colonies. He's confident the bird will end up in good company. At this tourist attraction, the birds ride the prevailing winds and fish in the West Coast surf. Releasing a gannet is a new experience for John.
Quite nervous, really. I'm used to releasing hawks and other birds, but it's the first time on this sort of a case, so it's quite exciting, really. It's always exciting to release a wild animal back into its natural environment. He's getting quite excited. There's a bit of movement in the box, so I think he could hear the gannets and the sea.
John finds the right piece of cliff top that can act as a runway for the bird if it can attempt to fly.
I'm not too sure how he's going to react. It's going to take time for him to get his bearings and readjust back to the natural environment. I'm not too sure if he's going to fly, but we can only wait and see.
He's picked the spot and the wind's just right. Hopefully he won't have too long to wait. It's a shaky start, but there's no denying the value of the vet's repair job.
He hasn't flown since the day that he was 4 weeks ago, so I guess that'll take some practice, but yeah, it's good to see him airborne. Happy ending.
colony's been a bird down in recent weeks, but thanks to the SPCA, things now look like they're getting back to normal. Next week, another German Shepherd puppy causes concern at the SPCA.
Wheel of a van went right over his midsection.
Tristan comes to the rescue of neglected farm animals.
I've got a yearling that looks to be in shocking condition.
And an out-of-control cat population gets a pensioner in trouble with the council.
We need to start removing some of the cats again like we did last time, even if you put 4 or 5 in there.